All right, we back again. I think this is 77, right? I put 77 on the title and I didn't even check. I just
Yeah, I
felt like it
believe
was
it.
77. But yeah, man, back again. The Grounded Show got a returning guest, probably the first returning guest, right? I don't think we had anybody
Yeah, I
back
think.
on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this. Yeah.
Yeah. The
History,
boy,
baby.
the boy, the first two-time
Yo,
Jarri
facts.
Knows, man. Y'all, if y'all from the Central Florida, I mean, I can't even say that anymore. I can't just say if you from Central Florida because the boy is worldwide now. But
Facts.
you
He be
know,
moving.
Yeah,
if you
we going to North Florida now, baby.
let's go,
Baby.
let's go. We go. What's that place? Where it be all them old people that catch STDs?
The villages.
The Villages. There it goes.
Oh,
The Villages' favorite guy.
Yeah.
Hey
But
man,
yeah, man.
he was our first 2-part episode, man. That episode just ended up just going, boy.
Yo, you
yeah.
know what's funny, dog? I didn't even think about this until right now, but they always get on me on that episode
It was lit, bro.
because I don't drink, bro. You know what I'm saying? But when you pulled up, remember we got the little bottle of the tequila we was drinking, and since we was just chopping it up and shit, I wasn't even paying attention, bro. I'm just drinking. Dog, I literally had to have my wife help me get to the room, bro.
Oh
After you
man.
left, dog, I was fucking
Damn.
fried, dog.
My bad, dog.
Bro, this
That
dude
boy was
after you
sauce.
left, he goes, I'm using the bathroom, be right back. Yo, me and Q singing for like 20 minutes. We're like,
Dog,
yo,
we was like, yo, where this nigga?
you think he'll come back?
Yo, I was like, yo, I know we done. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. I want to say something still. Yeah, I don't even remember what the fuck I said, dog. I just know I came back, and then when I fucking sat down here, I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna get
Oh,
up, bro?
it was over.
But yeah, man. Quincy actually had hit Jari up earlier in the day because we all did. You get a chance to listen to the whole podcast, Jari, the
Yeah,
Katt Williams joint? All right, but
yeah, they
so
got 3 hours out of me.
Katt
Facts.
Williams was on the Shannon Sharpe podcast, Club Shay Shay, and I seen it in the morning, and everybody in the chat pretty much knows. I don't know if you know Jari, but Katt Williams is my favorite comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like that's from the beginning. The first time I saw him, I was like, bro, he's hilarious. I've seen him live. I've seen all his specials. Catch him whenever he's on something else, and I always enjoy his work. And so you know, and I like Shannon Sharpe. I'm already subscribed to the podcast, so when I seen it, right away, I'm like, yo, Katt Williams is on the Shannon Sharpe podcast. I sent it in our little group chat, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That shit just started hot, boy. That
Right.
thing was,
Straight out the
bro,
gate.
right from the beginning where he's like, yo, I don't really be going on these shows. You know, I don't need to promote nothing. I just only, you know, talk to people I fuck with when I got something to say. Dog, that just set the whole tone for that
Facts.
whole thing, man. That
Mhm.
was crazy, bro. And even in like our little group chat with like the people we play Call of Duty with, that they're not even really tapped into like current stuff like that. They checked it out and they was real into it. They listened to the whole thing. They was talking about it all day. I didn't think it would kind of like take off the way it did as far as like so many people checking it out, but at the same time he was
Yeah.
talking real spicy, you know what I'm saying?
Literally, I don't think there's one chat that hasn't brought it up.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, they haven't.
Facts.
There hasn't been like something like that in a while. I feel like I can't even think off the top of my head when was the last like kind of like interview or whatever. Like, because there's always stuff like, for example, even like when Shannon Sharpe was on Stephen A's show the first time after the whole thing happened at Fox and stuff.
Yeah.
Not everybody cared. Only people that really was into sports and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that was like this was like the first one that I could think of that everybody was kind of tuned into. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I also feel like if it was anybody else, people probably wouldn't have even tapped in the way they tapped in. But we know that like Katt Williams doesn't talk much. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those people
Right.
that just like when he does talk, you listen. You know?
Yeah, facts. And I want to throw it to Jari because I've seen like different stuff that he's posted about Katt, and Katt Williams is one of those people that I don't really know where you kind of stand on Katt Williams. You know what I mean? Like you make it known a lot about a lot of different stuff, but in that one it's kind of like in the air. So I'm really curious, like just personally to hear like what you think about just him in general and leading into the podcast. You know?
Mm.
All right, man. I'm gonna try my best to be politically correct. So, first of all, fellas, I just want to thank y'all for having me on the show. You know, it's an honor to be back.
Appreciate you,
Um,
bro.
but Katt Williams is a hater, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all niggas, dog. That was some of the most haters shit I ever seen in my life, bro. It breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart because I never really thought of Katt Williams as like corny. You know what I'm saying? but he was just doing a lot of shit on there that I just didn't respect.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As far as like how he feels about Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and them, um, I don't knock him. You know what I'm saying? If what he's saying is true and how he feels about them is how he feels, but bro, calling Ludacris's wife ugly, like where they do that at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's the joke in that? There's no
Yeah.
joke. You just up here. But I was talking to my sister a little bit about it, but like how I put that video on my story, me talking the other day about how people will be cool with somebody, and then when stuff goes left or when they don't have anything they can get out of them no more, they just shit on them and try to expose them or like, oh, this is what they really got going on. That's what he was doing to Ludacris because Ludacris ain't do nothing to him.
Mm.
So what's the why try to spin this narrative like, oh, Ludacris sold his soul because he cut his hair off? What are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? Oh, and his wife is ugly. Like, we're I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I feel like this. I don't know, man. This it's a real. There's a lot of nuances in the interview, but basically, I just feel. Say that again.
No, I was gonna say, do you think he would? Because there's responses coming on if it was true, or if he was doing it for clout chasing. What do you think his approach for
I
it?
definitely don't think he's doing it for clout. I just think that Katt Williams lives in his own world, and sometimes he gets it right, and sometimes he doesn't. And in this time, he said it like he's not really like sociable. He's not really around other comedians. So I see people do it all the time where a situation will happen, and this person is so disconnected from the reality of the situation, they'll go sit on it for 3 months, pause, and like come up with their own narrative of what happened, and then they pop back out and be like, "Oh, I don't mess with this dude because of that. I don't mess with this dude because of that." And it's like, bro, what are you talking about? That's
Mm.
not what happened. That's what's going on in your own mind, bro. Like, I was just watching it. Like at first, I was watching it. I would say like the first 30 minutes or so. Like, okay, this is dope. Yeah, he like, you know what I'm saying? He going in because I feel like he understands a lot of comedians can relate to the concept of like, oh, bigger comedian stole my joke when I was a nobody and they're getting away with it. And comedians can't relate to, oh, these gatekeepers won't let me in and give me certain opportunities unless
Yeah,
I do this and do
I
that.
feel
So,
it was centered around that he's been left out of that group,
right.
and that's the reason.
What I don't understand though is that there's no way that's another thing what I'm saying. Like, well, I promise you everything I say is gonna come back full circle because there's no way he can spin a narrative that, oh, they're leaving me out or oh, they're hating on me when Shannon Sharpe said Cedric the Entertainer gave you this huge award that he used to do every year. How is he like not embracing you if he's giving you this award that he has? That's not how blackballing people work. I feel like Katt Williams keeps intentionally burning bridges with people and then being mad that they don't embrace him.
Hmm.
I definitely feel a lot of the stuff in what you're saying there. The only thing that I can't really speak on specifically to what you're saying is I don't know what those people said about him on the Shannon Sharpe podcast
Yeah,
for him to respond. And I'm gonna go back and listen to those clips to really like get a full
yeah,
understanding of like what he was like talking about as far as like what they said about him.
right.
But one of the big takeaways that I got from it is like just that idea of like he can kind of do that and speak freely and just even if his thoughts are wrong, he can do it and he don't have to worry about any pushback as far as anything affecting him and what he's doing because of the lane that he's carved out for
Mm-hmm.
himself.
He's
You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that's something that I feel like he was kind of trying to get across too, where he was just kind of hammering home like I don't do stuff that I don't want to do because I don't need to do it. I have my
Mm.
fan base. I have, you know what I'm saying? Like people like Katt Williams to me is like that situation that he's in is super special because and I feel like definitely Jarri, you could relate to this. Quincy, you could relate to this as an artist, but like just a point of view of being able to lock in that audience where they're just going to be locked into you and you know you're going to have a fan base like no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you can kind of expect a certain baseline of people to be there and support you in your corner just because you've built that equity amongst those people. Like to me that's super dope, and it's dope that he can kind of give his point of view, right or wrong, but just say, hey, I don't do X, Y, and Z because of these reasons. You can like or not like the reasons, but hey, that's what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think that he, like you said, he is in his own lane, and he's independent. So he's like, you know what I mean. He's his own source of, for lack of a better word, power. But at the same time, I feel like he's misusing his influence, because if he's happy being independent, why does he care so much of not being accepted by the people that he rejected?
Mm.
It doesn't make sense that he would go up there and be like, they offered me $50 million 4 times and I turned it down. But Kevin Hart said, yeah, and I'm mad about it. Like, why would you be mad?
Yeah.
That's like turning a chick down and being mad at the next dude for like smashing her. Like, yeah, nigga, I smashed her. Why you mad at me? You gonna beef with me for picking up the chick that you turned down? Like nothing. I would say the majority of the stuff he was saying just wasn't making any sense to me. It just sounded good, but it sounds good because he's a stand-up comedian. We lie and make it sound believable. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's what is part of the art. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the stuff he was saying about Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer and just like a lot of the older comedians, I can't really speak to that because that's like a personal situation and their own conversation and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just a lot of the outside stuff was just like how he was like, oh, Joe Rogan won't bring me on his show because I'm funny, and he's trying to promote 6 unfunny comedians. Joe Rogan just posted, I want to say for the past 2 episodes, they were on their show and Katt Williams love.
Yep.
Saying how
Facts.
hilarious he
Shane
was.
Gillis. Yep.
Yeah, you can go on the
And
show.
the Stavros dude went on there and talked about Katt Williams too, and they gave him
Yeah,
props.
bro.
I just saw that episode.
In his own world, making up his own shit. Like, what are you talking about, bro? So you're too funny to be on Joe Rogan, but Dave Chappelle was on there. Are you alluding to the fact that you're funnier than Dave Chappelle? Is that what we're gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, you know your resume don't stack up against his, so don't even try to spin that as a narrative, nigga. You're gonna look crazy.
Yeah. What like the whole shit about Cedric, I get. I'm not saying I get it, but it's the fact that he's saying that he stole that spaceship joke from Kings
He
of Comedy.
100% stole that shit.
See,
Yeah.
that I get. I'd be
Yeah.
mad about that. But then
Especially
I
as
felt
an
like
up and comer. Like, damn,
Yeah.
nigga, that's all I got right now.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that joke, I still remember that joke, the whole joke to this day. But Steve Harvey, I felt like he was just hating. He was just hating on him. Like it was just pure hate.
Yeah, they had some weird. I can't remember what started it, but they had some weird beef like 20 years ago. These niggas was going back and forth on the radio or something, and then
And it's almost like he's getting some like secondhand beef just from the residue of the Bernie shit too. You know what I mean? Like he seems real like stuck on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, Bernie been dead since what 06, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
And like, did Bernie even fuck with you like that? Because I mean, what Bernie died in 06. How well could y'all relationship? Both of y'all are on the road like crazy.
You said Bernie died in 06, and what? You cut off for a sec.
Oh, my bad. I was saying Bernie passed in what, like 06? I'm just guessing. And Katt Williams blew up in 2002 before social media. They're both traveling on the road. How well could you even know this nigga?
August 9, 2008 was when he passed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a decent time gap because I mean, if you think about it from the Comic View days, that was 98, 90, you know what I'm saying? So he had a good solid decade, I would say, at least in the industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Jarri, what you think about Katt Williams just as far as work goes? You know, a comedian, resume.
I mean, obviously, like his first 2 specials is crazy, but I mean, outside of the first 2, his specials have been pretty like subpar, and I think that's part of the reason why he's so bitter. Just because you say you're not bitter doesn't mean you're not bitter, bro. Like everything you're on here saying, like you throwing shots at. He said Joe Rogan's pushing 6 unfunny comedians right now. What do they have to do with anything you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are just up and coming guys, and I guarantee you he's not gonna say who he's naming. But he's so real, but he'll throw a subliminal at 6 niggas and then refuse to say who you talking about.
Yeah.
Either say their names or don't. You know what I'm saying? It was just I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like the whole interview, I'm just like, what is this nigga doing? He's self-destructing, bro. Like
that's why I got that quote. You can't sugarcoat a bitter pill and call it a Tic Tac. you can't sound bitter and then say you're not bitter.
Yeah, bro. You bringing up and like this whole Friday After Next shit. That movie came out over 20 years ago, bro. This new generation barely cares. I would say they got another 5 years of that movie being relevant without them niggas sounding like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like imagine like I like Harlem Nights and all that. Imagine a nigga going on a podcast and trying to tell you some like gossip about that shit. Niggas don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
we
so
give a fuck because we grew up on that movie, but this young generation ain't trying to hear about no 20-year-old movie, bro.
Yeah.
So my understanding from the way it started was that Katt actually came up there or came to the podcast in response to individuals like Cedric the Entertainer and Ricky Smiley coming on there and making certain comments that he perceived as lies. So from that standpoint, I get what you're saying, but it's also like if they're going to still talk about it and make
Right.
references to it, then I'm going to address
point,
my
yeah.
side. You know what I mean? So that's my only kind of take on that.
Yeah, I do feel what you was talking about, Jari, as far as like, because I didn't look at it from the point of view of like he kind of was all over the place, and then like there's certain things that he said that if you kind of you like just look at him like in a nutshell, like all those extra little things that he threw in there, it's kind of like, you know, it kind of convolutes like the main message. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, if I got an issue with somebody, then that's it. It's just you. I'm not about to be like blah blah blah. Oh, by the way, this nigga's wife is ugly. Like you sound crazy, bro. Like
It takes away from the point of like what you're actually trying to get at for sure. Like when you like if he came on there and really just addressed Ricky Smiley and Cedric the Entertainer, I think you'd probably be having a different conversation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then when you do all the other shit, it's like, oh, if these niggas mistreated you, you probably deserve it. Because look how you acting now. You acting like a bitch,
Yeah.
dog. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, they chump you out, nigga. Like, what? And they probably sitting around laughing. Here's the thing that kills me too, right? He was stuck on the fact that Steve Harvey was like, oh, I'm not a movie star because I didn't want to be, right? And you know what I'm saying? Obviously that we can debate whether he really wanted to or not. Only Steve Harvey really knows if that's true or not. But Steve Harvey is up 100, 200 M's right now. So if you're saying that like he wanted to be a movie star and he failed because they didn't write scripts for him. Okay, his plan B looks fucking immaculate to me. You know what I'm saying? So
same reason
not
enough.
taking away from him, bro.
Yeah. And what I've
But,
always heard and I've always wondered was true is that Steve Harvey said he don't do comedy because of all the shows he got and he's afraid of getting canceled. And then Katt Williams was like, oh, he said he don't do comedy because he got shows. He's like, because he doesn't have a fan base. I was like, I don't know. He might still have a fan base.
Man, if Cedric the Entertainer is still touring and doing shows, there's no way Steve Harvey can't do shows. You know what I'm saying? If people are paying money to go see Ced, they'll pay to go see Steve Harvey. That's like fucking Big Boy touring and saying Andre 3000 can't. It's like if they like one, they like the other, or they're at least willing to go see. You know what I'm saying? What he's talking about. And on top of that, like people are overlooking the fact that Steve Harvey's almost 70 years old, bro.
Yeah,
I
didn't think about that either.
That's an old ass man you're talking about. He might not want to fucking tour. The nigga is old. Would you rather be traveling around the world with your wife, smoking cigars and wearing outfits that you're too old for, or would you want to fucking be on the road, stuck on a bus, dealing with tour management and all that types of shit? Like, look at the quality of life. Katt Williams, like, bro, I'm telling you, everything comes full circle, bro. This nigga on the interview said himself, I smoke weed because as a comedian, you travel all the time and you got to eat at 3 a.m. and your body don't, like, you live it, like, you sound miserable, bro. A 70-year-old man wants to live like that. Oh, he don't tour because he not funny no more. He might not be, nigga. He's 70. This nigga was old 30 years ago.
He was though.
like, come on, bro. Like, you not tricking me, bro. Like that nigga do a lot of double talk, and then the shit with me when I started peeping that this nigga was like on some bullshit. I know, like, I'm sure y'all got the ear too. Like, I got an ear for like music and tone and inflection and shit. Like, I can hear the sincerity and when people talk sometimes. And I peeped in the interview, he was like performing, like he was trying to like say something cool and clever and
like it was
witty.
a
And it's
set.
like, nigga, just say the truth.
Yeah.
Why you trying to? Oh,
He was definitely taking the time to like formulate his response so it's like quote worthy. You know what I mean?
bro. That's
Like he
exactly
wouldn't
what
give
I'm
it right
saying.
away. He would like take a second,
To
pause,
think
and then
about
put
it.
it
I
together.
thought they were like muting certain parts, but he was just stopping
Yeah.
and then like starting his next phrase. Yeah, I got that too.
How can I lean into my character a little bit and say something that sounds fly and player and slick? Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Nigga said he read 3,000 books when he's 6 years old. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Let's just say
Yeah.
maybe do
I
audio books.
was supposed to go to
No,
some
comic
college.
books.
I was
Comic
supposed
books.
to go to some college and some honors class, but when I showed up, all the kids were wearing lab coats, so I failed the test on purpose. Nigga, shut the fuck up, bro.
That was wild. That
You
was
failed
wild.
on purpose. You sabotaged yourself. You want me to believe that, bro? Like, this nigga is a liar, bro. Like,
No, he
but,
definitely
that's
threw
what
in
I'm
a
saying.
lot of
Niggas like
sauce
Ricky
and a lot of
Smiley them
bullshit.
is like, I really believe that. I really believe Ricky Smiley was there hating. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe Steve Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke. And I can't remember what his beef with Steve Harvey was. I think it was just like some ego
I
shit.
think it's well for Ricky Smiley because Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley are super close. They had that radio show forever.
Yeah.
So they've always done things together. And that's what I mean. I think it kind of just went into Steve Harvey hate. Like I didn't hear the reason for the Steve Harvey hate.
Right.
I think it was just a rant about why he didn't fuck with him.
So I got a question. Do you think that a lot of his issues or personal vendettas towards these individuals are because, he has certain, I guess, morals or values that he's not willing to bend on, that he's seen them bend on? Like, do you think that has something to do with it?
This nigga has glorified being a pimp for 20 years, bro. He got
I think he
morals.
asked him if he was a
This
pimp
nigga
too.
was arrested 19 times. He got morals. This nigga fought a little kid. He got morals. Like, what are we talking about? That nigga, dog, did you hear what he said why he adopted all of his kids?
Mm-hmm.
This nigga said he adopted, and he didn't use this word, but I'm using this word because this is bottom line what he's saying. He adopted 10 kids so he could trick God into thinking he's a good person. It's like, bro,
I missed that part.
if you're God and you see somebody adopt 10 kids, what would you think of that person? And Shannon Sharpe was like, I would think he's a good person. So like, you didn't adopt them because like there was 10 kids you wanted to take care of, or you just felt this need to like nurture something. You did it specifically so God will think you're a good person. What have you done in your life to make you have to pull a stunt like that? You know another thing too, bro? Like, one of the reasons why I hate when any nigga speaks on another man's wife. I feel like that is like some super duper whole shit. Because especially in these times now, like with the gender war and shit going on, but having a wife is like socially, it gives you that perception. I don't even want to say perception because that sounds like manipulative, but you have that image of like, okay, this is a solid man. They've been together for 20 years. He has to be a stand-up guy because this woman has stood next to him for 20 years. So for a nigga that's 52 years old to not be able to say he's been married once, he just has a bunch of women that came in and out of his life that can't co-sign for him no more. You have no right to ever say a nigga's wife is ugly or anything. Because there's not a chick on the planet that can be like, oh, for 20 years, I've been with this nigga every day, and I can tell you this is a real nigga. And he's 52. But you speaking on another nigga's wife, like that shit is corny, bro. Like it was too much. He did too much bitch shit for me to be even respect the little beef he got, because it's like what I think is what I really this is my own personal conspiracy theory or whatever. But he said it straight up. Him and his pops got into it when he was a jit. His pops was like, nigga, you got to get the fuck out. So the nigga slid. He's homeless now. I think he just has a problem with authority because everybody he gets next to, he only gets close enough to peep what they got going on, see what's this, see what's that, and then he slides out and then shits on them. Why would you shit on Ludacris, bro? What did this nigga do to you? Yeah. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody he fucked out, even the Nick Cannon shit. Nick Cannon sees this nigga as having like some turbulence in his career, so he's like, boom, let me put you on Wild 'N Out, put you in front of America again, give him another look. In Katt Williams' world, where he spins his own narratives, he's like, oh, I was on Wild 'N Out because they needed me to establish respect between the comedians and the rappers. Nigga, Wild 'N Out was popping before you was even on the show. Afion Crockett had that show jumping. Little skits and shit.
Yeah.
But in Katt Williams' little fucking circus of a mind, he's like, oh, I'm important. Nick Cannon ain't shit without me. And I'm gonna go on Shannon Sharpe show and say, like, oh, if it wasn't for me, the rappers would have punched Nick Cannon in the eye. Nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Everybody he gets next to, he ends up shitting on. And the major thing, I don't know if y'all know this because he's not that big of a comedian, but I mean he's touring athlete or whatever. But anyways, nigga, Ali Sadiq has been calling this nigga out for 5 years about being a bitch ass nigga. And he ain't mentioned this nigga name not one time. So if you're showing up on Shannon Sharpe show to set the record straight, speak on the nigga that you know you can't speak on. What you gonna say? You more of a street nigga than him? A nigga that did 10 years in prison and ain't tell nobody until he was 15 years into his comedy career? What you gonna say? You funnier than this nigga? A nigga who drops a special every single year and it's just one big story that is like critically acclaimed right now? You can't. This nigga has been a less of a. He's been famous for a shorter amount of time than Katt Williams, and already has a more well-respected body of work as far as like talent goes. He knows there's no narrative he can spin about this nigga. And you got all the smoke for this nigga that's 70 years old, but you know Ali Sadiq will put the fucking pause on you, so you ain't got shit. But here's another thing too, bro. Is like how I know he's ducking smoke because in the interview when Katt Williams is like, "Oh, I used to be called Cat in the Hat, but Disney sent me a cease and desist." Yeah, the nigga who exposed him for being called Cat in the Hat and wearing hats on stage was Ali Sadiq. That's why he
didn't mention that.
So the nigga crossed your mind in the interview. Say his name, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to because you know you're not gonna get all the like the Steve Harvey shit is salacious. They're bigger than you. So if I won't say bigger than, but y'all know what I mean. Like they got like pedigree. Yeah. So if I speak on them, it'll be like a ripple effect. But if I speak on Ali Sadiq, I'm introducing him to my audience. My audience might not even know who he is. But he got real smoke with you. He talking about he want to whoop your ass when he see you. You don't got nothing to say? All right, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie, Jarri. That's a good take, bro. You making some great points, bro.
It's never hate with me, bro. It's never hate. It's just I be seeing the patterns and shit. And when the patterns don't align, it's like this nigga is full of shit. You can run a 4.3, nigga, and you 50 years old. Come on, bro. I'm not. Why lie, bro? Why lie, bro?
Yeah, I feel like
you smoke more weed than Snoop. Why lie?
Yeah. I feel like like I said in the beginning, like as far as comedian goes, he's my favorite comedian. Like as like on stage and everything. But yeah, exactly. But kind of like you were saying, bro, it's like when you talk about shit that's like supposed to be when you speak on stuff that's supposed to be unspoken, there's no way for you to speak on it and not look the way that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why it's things you don't talk about. Because exactly what you're talking about, bro. Like we've all had falling outs and things like that. And you talk about it, but there's aspects of it that you always keep close to the vest because like you said, bro, like there ain't no way to say certain things without opening that can of worms. And there ain't no way to say certain things without sounding like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what you're saying.
Right.
So, he's speaking on certain things, but like you said, then other things come up, little random topics, little side swipes that he's taking at people and stuff like that. But like, I definitely feel everything you're saying, like, cause what you're saying is valid as hell.
Facts.
But just from the point of like, I still like it from the point of view of like, bruh, he's able to kind of like, it's funny because I heard the Sean Strickland podcast where he was on Theo Von. I don't know if y'all heard that, but he's the lightweight champion right now in the UFC. He's like a real controversial, like kind of like
the Badasanya.
That's the dude with the pink hair, right?
No. He's the like country kind of white boy that got in a fight in the crowd recently. Yeah. But anyway, he was on the Theo Von show, and he was kind of coming at it from the point of view of like, if I was, because he's real outspoken, and he was just telling Theo Von, like, if I was in the NBA right now talking the way I'm talking, they would have kicked me out the league. I wouldn't have had a chance to make money. But I'm in the UFC, and they don't control you that way, so I can say what I want, and it'll just affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like he can still do what he wants as long as he performs, but it'll affect him. You know what I'm saying? And that's always like the main gist that I got from the Katt Williams thing was like, bro, he can talk like that because he don't got to turn around and then look at that person and expect a check from them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to answer nobody.
Right. So that's like the piece that I kind of took away, even from the point of view of like, that's something that I aspire to be, like somebody that can kind of do my thing and just do it the way that I would like to do it and say what I want to say without having to worry that somebody could take the money out my hand. You know what I mean?
Facts. No, that's a fact. And I definitely respect that. I feel like as human beings, like at the end of the day, as human beings, we should be able to be free enough to experiment with the thoughts and the shit we want to say. But with that, you gotta own up to that shit and stand on that square.
Facts.
Don't throw all these darts and it'd be like, oh, by the way, I'm not bitter. Nah, you are bitter. Just own it. You know what I'm saying? I would respect that more. He's like, yo, if he would have been on all of that shit and it'd be like, yo, you know what? Maybe I am bitter because I just been doing it on my own and I endure so much bullshit as a comedian. I feel like a lot of other people are getting the easy way out and I'm being overlooked. I could respect that more than him to be like, I'm just saying the truth. It's Kevin Hart's an industry plant. This nigga got the work documented.
Yeah.
That he put in. But that's the thing that like people like him do. They spin these narratives and be like, how can that be true if this is what happened? So when he's like, we just watched a documentary, him blowing up on New York. How did he blow up in LA at the same time? That's not what they're saying, nigga. You can blow up in New York, get scouted by agents that are based out of LA. They fly you to LA, book you in these rooms, and now you're buzzing in LA, nigga. But bro,
and even kind of like you were saying, like with the darts analogy, it's like he also like picked up a couple of them and said, I don't know about this one, and left like 5 darts. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're like you said, like you if you're gonna tell your truth, you know, quote unquote, you got to speak on all of it, and you got to just keep it real all across the board.
No, facts.
Can't hear you, Jarri. Yo, can't hear you.
I think he had to take something real quick, but we can keep going. I think he had to take a call.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is like that. What I wanted to ask Jarri about too is you back?
My bad. That nigga Cam Patterson. This nigga called me about 3 times since I've been on here.
Man,
that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because how he was like, yeah, you know, Joe Rogan 6 unfunny niggas. It's like, damn, is this nigga talking about Cam? Joe Rogan been promoting Cam too, so it's like, Pat, he's so out of touch with this shit. There's like a whole like, for lack of a better word, I would say like a fraternity of comedians in Austin right now, and they on some like, nigga, you talking about this nigga? All 30, 40 of us is fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like. But when you just sit around in your own little world and don't know what's going on and talk like you do, this is the type of shit that happens, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, something I wanted to ask you too that came up in the podcast, and I've always found interesting, like especially now that you know, in the last like 10 years or so, the podcasting got real popular. You hear comedians talking to each other all the time and getting interviewed. The dress thing that always pops up, and every time they're interviewing comedians, but specifically black comedians.
Yeah.
They don't ask white comedians, they don't ask Spanish comedians, Indian, Asian, whatever. Black comedians. The dress thing. What's your take on it? And when I say the dress thing, I'm talking about the perception that they're always trying to put a black man in a dress to kind of like demasculize. I don't even know how to say the word.
Yeah.
Like emasculate. There you go. To like kind of emasculate them. Like, what is your take on that idea, the theory? What is your take on wearing a dress for comedy? Like, what do you think about that?
The first comedian I heard that to say it out loud on like a public platform was Dave Chappelle. He put that shit out there and was like, this is what it is. I mean, it's something that people like would talk about, but not with the type of platform that Dave Chappelle. And I could be wrong. Somebody could have said it before him, but that's just my recollection of it. But I think it stems from like that practice that they used to do in slavery, that breaking buck shit.
Yeah.
Where somebody like ran away or like rebelled. They just send one of these niggas out there and just fuck them in front of everybody to like be like, oh, this is who y'all fuck with. Well, guess what? I just fucked him in the ass type shit.
Yeah.
Like some psychological shit. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that same perception, like, oh, they broke you. They made you put the dress on. Because what straight nigga wants to wear a dress? You know what I'm saying? And at this point, it's hacky because it's been done so many times. It's not like, oh, I put this dress on. Isn't that so funny? No, nigga. We seen this shit 50 million times. But I was talking to my sister about it. It's kind of like how I was saying, like people should be able to experiment with they words and shit. I don't say that in the context of experimenting wearing a dress, but I just brought up the fact that like, what if our perception of them wearing a dress wasn't the case? What if it's just a corny joke that Hollywood just does? You know what I'm saying? And we have that perception of it because of the history behind emasculating black men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I say all that to say, nigga, I ain't wearing no dresses. So. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know whatever floats they boat or whatever. But I was telling her too, because like you know what I'm saying, she asked me like about the dress thing and like, oh, what'd you do with that or not? But I always feel like I gotta step above like comedians in a way is because like if this shit don't work out, nigga, I'll go back to selling cars. I'll go
Mm-hmm.
back to you know what I'm saying? Like I can always make money. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do stand up to be like a successful man in life. A lot of these niggas do. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't, if this shit don't, oh my, I'm, okay. I'm cussing. My mom's in the room. But if yeah, bro, if this don't work out, bro, I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I'll shit. I don't need you
Yeah.
niggas. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I figure I'll have a yard sale before I
Right.
before I let them play me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. That's kind of how I be feeling even about like the music stuff. I always laugh when people kind of bring up like the local rapper like persona, and it's like, dog, like just because somebody want to be creative, you know what I'm saying, don't mean like they broke. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
right.
like, dog, maybe they just want to be creative, and if something pop. But if it
Like
don't pop,
if
I'm
it don't, it
still
don't.
straight.
But
Like,
I enjoy creating this.
right.
It's kind of crazy though because like it's kind of like that with comedy too. As far as like just creating your art because like as a rapper, it's like man, if you ain't famous, you ain't shit. As a
Mm-hmm.
comedian, it's like dog, if this joke ain't funny, we personally dislike you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you are a lame. And the
Yeah.
thing too is like the weird part about comedy though is that you can't practice unless there's other people around. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine
Facts.
some nigga is painting and like while he's painting, people just pull up and start booing this nigga. It's like it's not done yet. I'm still working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna go back and cover this up or whatever, but it's like that with comedy though. It's like, bro, like I'm just testing out the frame of the joke. That's not the punchline I want, but I got
Mm-hmm.
the premise. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
The
right.
premise has potential. I just gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Which is dope. I think that was a dope part of the interview that I didn't understand about stand up comedy that he kind of broke down yesterday, where he was like,
Don't talk
how
about the
you
last per minute. You about to talk about the last per minute?
no. It was just about
Oh,
how he basically was like, how you formulate a joke and you cultivate it and you try it out and then you add from it and you take from it and then you have a special. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. I never really thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Then even how he was saying that like Mark, like he was telling the joke, then Mark Curry kind of helped him like
Yeah.
retool it to make it a little funnier, and then he kind of when he
mhm,
actually was doing it, that it was like a big joke. It was
Mm-hmm.
like the retooled version that he
mhm.
did with Mark Curry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But something
I'll give y'all an
interesting you
example of
said,
that shit. What
yeah.
happened? My bad. I didn't mean to
No,
cut
go
you off.
ahead. If you got an example, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I'll give y'all an example. I got a joke where it's like, oh, I just found this app that'll pay you to speed date. And then people were just like, oh shit, it's an app that'll pay you to speed date. Like that's what they anticipate. I'm like, yeah, it's called driving Uber. And then it's like, oh shit, let's get paid to speed date, da da da. So they think like that's like a thing. What I'm about to do with that though is I'm about to flip that because I got a joke that's like the premise is about people going to therapy. So then blah 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 therapy, blah blah blah. And then I say the punchline and I'm be like, yeah, speaking of therapy, I just became a therapist. And they're like, oh, this nigga does therapy too? Yeah, I just started driving Uber. Like it's the it's the
Yeah.
it's the
You
same
just tweak
joke.
it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But now instead of me talking about speed dating and riding around picking bitches up, I can talk about me riding around and listening to people's problems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same joke, but now I can take it in a different direction and expand it more. Cause like the
Exactly.
whole like talking about picking bitches up, like niggas talking about bitches all day. It's kind of like
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
kind of one dimensional. But if I'm talking about picking up people and listening to their problems, I can take that shit and an
Anywhere.
emphasis. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It-
Like,
That's
it's like
dope.
it's like the same thing with music too. Like you might do a song that the song is trash, but you did like a little 4 bars in there, like a
Facts.
little melody or sequence that you're like, there's
mhm,
something here, and you take it to
right.
something else, and it'll be
Mm-hmm.
like the main part of the next song. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts.
But something you said that was real interesting, Jari, that I heard Jerry Seinfeld talk about with Mario Joyner on the Comedians in Cars show. He was telling him that the thing that really made them friends in the beginning was that he saw his act. As far as Seinfeld saw Mario Joyner's act, because Mario Joyner was opening for him, he saw
Mhm,
the act. Even though Mario tried to like be cool with him before, he wasn't really trying to be cool with him. But then he saw the act, and
mhm.
Seinfeld said somewhere it was like the act is the currency. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So is that kind of how it is in the comedy
Dog,
world?
100%. And I be letting that shit be known because like I book mad rooms now. I'm on like one of the biggest bookers in Florida now. So a
Mm.
lot of niggas be like trying to like nigga, you know what I'm saying? You can imagine what comes with that. I don't even want to put
Yeah, of
that out there,
course.
but
Yeah.
you can imagine what comes with that. But like, bro, if you're not funny, nigga, what can we talk about? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna be friends. We're not gonna hang out. We're not gonna be on shows together. Just get funny first, bro, and then we can figure out all of the rest of the shit. But like, bro, we're at work. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Do you want to work with the nigga that doesn't do his job correctly? Hell no, nigga. I don't want nothing to do with you, nigga.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yo,
Exactly.
man. I recently went in and filmed the show that you guys did at the Improv in Orlando, the one for Cam, where you were like the one that came out right before him,
Mhm.
and it was freaking hilarious, dog. And it was just dope to see, kind of like even like what we're talking about, and kind of like winding down, like, and even going off of what you're saying, where you're kind of like creating your own path. Like it was just dope to see that, like, you started, where me and Quincy kind of seen, where you were booking like these little shows and like these smaller venues around the
Mhm.
city, putting
Mm-hmm.
them together. Those were super dope, and they went real well. And then it's just been elevating and slowly going up, slowly going up. Everything's just been turning up, and you're putting the work in, and you're funny. And at the end of the day, bro, you can't lose if you're doing that. And I feel like that's something that Katt Williams has going for him too. He puts the work in and he's funny.
Yeah.
So regardless of all the other stuff, he can't lose because he's
Mm-hmm.
Right.
funny and he's putting the work in.
Right. And he
But
sells
dog,
tickets. You sell tickets.
He
yeah,
sells the tickets.
facts. Bro,
Exactly.
I seen him at the CFE arena, I think twice, and
Mm.
both times it was sold out, bro.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know, like, he wasn't even doing anything at the time. Like, he wasn't on TV.
He
He
just
was,
was on tour. Yeah.
yep,
Same. Same.
He got
bro.
that market. He got that marketable image and shit.
Yep.
That's why it's like it just be making him look like a hater because it's like, bro, you got all of this success. Why do you have so much smoke for everybody? Why are
That's
you
a
bringing
fact.
up? What did Michael Blackson do to you?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you calling him out for being an African and using a fake accent, but you're a supposed pimp pretending to be a pimp? It's the same
Facts.
shit. What he's doing with the African shit, you was doing with the pimp shit. Money Mike and all that shit. You're playing a fictitious personality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like the whole shit, I don't know, man. He was just dog. This nigga said he made a list of
Bro,
300 comedians, bro. 300 comedians that are funnier than him, and then
at a
he
time
didn't
with no
stop or
Google,
whatever
nothing,
until he was
no,
funnier than all of them.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I counted the laughs per minute of 300 comedians, and I wouldn't stop until I got more laughs per minute than all of them. He only talks like that because he knows people don't understand those. Like that's probably like a lot of people's first time hearing the phrase "laugh per minute." They probably
Mm-hmm.
don't watch stand up and be like, "Okay, one laugh, two laugh." So it sounds like he's like this comedic mastermind genius. Nigga, there's
Mm-hmm.
no nigga in the world unless you got a beef with a specific comedian that's sitting in a fucking comedy class or room or whatever and counting a nigga's laughs per minute.
And
And you
even
mean to
going
tell
off
me
that
you did that to 300 people, bro?
Yeah.
facts, and even going off that argument in that case, Dave Chappelle's not funny because he don't get that many laughs. Like, he's not just throwing zingers
Uh,
out the whole time.
Nah, he just builds them up like
that's
beautifully.
exactly what I was saying because I do that same shit sometimes where I
Mm.
experiment with a joke where I like this long, dramatic, deep, sentimental shit, and then I hit him with nigga. It'll take me like a minute and a half till I get to the point. But if you
Mm-hmm.
got 5 laughs within my minute and a half, and you think that makes you a better comedian, you could be wrong because people could be laughing harder at my shit, or they
Mm-hmm.
could be more impressed. If people come out to laugh and they're drunk, I promise you, it's not that hard to make them laugh if you know what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing to get a quick little ha he. You know what I'm saying? It's all about taste.
Exactly.
But he tried to formulate it to make it some mathematical equation that taste is irrelevant in. But the nigga, look at the nigga. Does he look like a nigga that has good taste? Like, look at this nigga, dog. What was he wearing? This nigga had a big ass cruise ship steering wheel chain on. 4 different textures. 52 years old and a big old kufi. Like, he's a nigga that doesn't have taste. So that's why he has so much to say about everybody else's.
I will tell you one thing. That I did notice yesterday that made the interview. The cruise ship chain took me out. My bad. The nigga is savvy with his words.
Yeah,
he's very savvy with his words. And I definitely peeped that. Like, you know, he comes off very, very articulate.
Mm-hmm. Dog, I was looking at that chain like, yo, what the fuck is that?
What did you just
said?
Right? Did it say fake? I was looking at it. I think it said fake woke, folk woke.
Folk woke. It was like weird.
I don't know.
But when you just said the cruise,
the cruise ship.
That was exactly it too. That was a Royal Caribbean chain.
Wow, that's funny. That's mad accurate.
This nigga did two timeshare presentations to get that fuck out of here, bro. That nigga is bogus, bro. That nigga is I'm sorry, bro. He's a bogus guy.
Yo, chill out, bro.
Low key though, I thought Shannon was gonna come at him a couple times, because he kept saying that country bumpkin thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, Shannon's a country dude on TV.
Yeah, he definitely
bro.
is.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was gonna be like, hold a minute now. Like,
the same thing.
Like talking to himself, no, don't do it.
Yo, hey, but real talk, give Shannon his props, man. Like, Shannon, he handled that very well, dog. Like, very, very well. And I'm very impressed with how far he's come along with his, you know what I'm saying?
That TV experience.
Dog, he's come so far.
Skip Bayless for like 5 years, dog.
Bruh.
You know what would have been crazy, though? If that was a Drink Champs episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it would have been horrible.
It would have been crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Shannon moderated that
facts.
very well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Drink Champs, that shit would have been a mess.
I feel like Drink Champs fell off the rails, bro.
On Drink Champs.
Oh, yeah. I think nobody wants to go on there anymore.
You fall asleep first 20 minutes, man.
If a nigga does a response video on Drink Champs, you automatically know that shit about to be insane. Like, you have to see this shit. Wow, nigga, let's get the smoke out the way right now.
Yo, Steve Harvey about to sell out with his old ass. Hey, you know what, man? This little ass.
Come on, man. Dog, that's another thing, bro. How this nigga trying to paint he told Shannon Sharpe, oh, I got a photographic memory. I have the encyclopedia, all that kind of shit. But when Shannon Sharpe is like, Cedric gave you this award in 2000, and that was part of the reason why you got looked at for the role of Friday After Next. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. You don't remember that? This big ass thing that happened in the beginning of your career that opened a huge door for you. You don't remember that?
That's true. That's true.
It's your narrative that these niggas is hating on you, so you omit it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, like, any hate he got for Cedric after stealing his joke is justified, because it's like, nigga, if you steal my joke, you really just think I ain't never gonna be shit.
That's really what it is. Yeah,
think I'm gonna get my lick back. You think I'm about to just die in obscurity, especially before social media. Niggas don't do it as much no more, because like that shit can
comes out
overnight.
Facts.
But in the 90s, niggas steal your shit and be in Nebraska with it, and you got no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame him for having smoke, but it's like, bro, if you got smoke, nigga, just keep it smoky. You don't gotta lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And spin these narratives and shit.
Yeah.
But we gonna see, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see. I haven't seen nobody really like. But again, he didn't get at nobody that's really gonna do. Kevin Hart got a clean image. He trying to touch $1 billion within the next 5 years. He ain't got time to be going back and forth with Kevin Hart. Who he talk shit about? Tiffany Haddish. You know
hey, Ricky Smiley responded. He basically just, took the high road. Ricky Smiley said, "It's all love over here, Playboy."
Right. That just means he already made that phone call.
Yeah.
That Illuminati phone
Yeah,
call.
hey, Katt ain't getting no more roles.
Right. We gotta get this nigga. We gotta get this nigga. You know something else I didn't like about that shit? That nigga brought up Ricky Smiley's dead son. I'm like, this nigga is playing with
Damn,
fire.
fire. I don't even remember that.
It wasn't like it was very indirectly, but he did bring it up. It was indirectly.
Don't even talk about it. Don't even.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
That part was kind of wild.
That's
I'm
grimy
like,
for
this
sure.
nigga is out of pocket. Like,
I think he said. Do you remember exactly how? I know it was something like he was basically addressing that Ricky Smiley came out right after his son died or something. It was like indirect, but it was like you didn't have to say that, you know?
Exactly. He was like, why would he come up there lying when he lost a child?
Yeah, that part. It's like wow. That's like you don't. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah,
man. Hey, man. I done had smoke with plenty of niggas, and I done, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never go outside like that. The smoke is always about who you got smoke with, nigga. What is you doing? And then you keep spinning, you keep wanting people to believe you not a drunk, you barely drunk, You up there looking pretty drunk to me, bro. Because how else could you justify you randomly just, oh, this nigga wife ugly. Ludacris shaved off his sideburns and sold it. So this nigga was talking about Chris Tucker. He
said not the same Chris Tucker.
Island allegations on Chris Tucker. The documents came out yesterday. Where's Chris Tucker's name on there, nigga? You gotta stand on that. You call me a pedo?
You did say that.
You call me a pedo? Oh nah, nigga. Come on, man.
That's why
I hate it had to be Katt, man. He seemed like a cool dude. But I don't know, man. That nigga crashed out to me, bro. I wasn't feeling that shit at all. The first 15 minutes, I was like, okay, nigga, let them niggas know what's up. Yeah. Once that shit went left, I'm like, oh, this nigga is a maniac.
Hey, that nigga should have put that shade down.
Dog, literally, bro. That shit is nuts.
No, that's a real take, though. I will say, prior to this conversation, I definitely was like, damn, this nigga really was going crazy. But when you kind of put it into perspective, the way you put it into perspective, it definitely got me like kind of, I want to almost rewatch it and kind of like really like take it in again. Cause like pause. Wow. Yeah. Pause. But nah, like that's an interesting take, a very interesting take. And I'm glad we brought you on. That's why I actually wanted you to come on just from your experience and perspective as a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, especially in the grinding phase of your career. You know what I'm saying? Like you're grinding. You know what I'm saying? You're not where you started, and you're not where you're gonna be. But you know you're going through those growing pains. So I definitely wanted to get you on here to get your take on it.
I would say that like, and this is my own personal thing. I don't know if other comedians feel this way, but if I have a huge platform, I feel like using that to call somebody unfunny is like one of the most fucked up shits you can do, especially if it's niggas on the come up. Because, like, with the art of comedy, you had the ability to curse people. You ever known a nigga who got clowned so bad or something embarrassing happened to him that became his nickname, or that's all people think of when they see them? Like, you can really curse people. Like, look what 50 Cent did to Ja Rule. He turned into a laughing stock. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Inside the NBA, bro.
Didn't do anything. He just cursed them with like his humor.
Yep. They do the same thing inside the NBA, bro.
What?
They just be clowning certain players and turning them into jokes, and then teams don't want to sign them in a certain light because they're like the Shaq and the Fool guy or something.
Yeah.
Right. You can curse people with this funny shit. So for you to like call out 6 blindly, because now the internet, I've typed it in on Twitter to see what people were saying. They're just throwing names out there of who he could have been talking about. You know what I'm saying? So now these niggas are like have this little stigma where people are consuming the shit and they're like, oh, this nigga's not funny. This gotta be the nigga Katt Williams was talking about. Yeah. I would never call a comedian unfunny on a public platform like that unless I had some personal smoke with these niggas. And they would have to speak on me first. Like they would have to take it there with me. But I feel like that's like you taking it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people. I'll give you a perfect example. Just how my nigga Cam just blew up. With him blowing up, like 10 other people moved out to Austin. That shit had a whole ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting booked shows now and getting opportunities off the one opportunity that he got. So to try to shit on another comedian that's coming up, nigga, you don't know if these niggas got families. You don't know if these niggas is in the streets and this is like they way out. You don't know what the fuck is going on. but you just drunk off your own power and just be like, I can say whatever I want to say because I can just go hide in my mansion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is like some sucker shit, bro. Like the whole shit. I'm like, dog. After the first 15 minutes, that nigga didn't say one real nigga statement. Just, this nigga said Cedric the Entertainer don't got a Netflix special. You can type the nigga name in Netflix right now. His special is right there.
Yeah.
But it sounded good.
It did sound good. I believed it.
They talk with all that charisma. He don't got one special on Tubi or Netflix. Can I continue? Like, he's talking like, nigga, you just lied.
I felt like he had a fact checker in there. I wonder if it was on his side or just someone on the show.
Oh, yeah, because he got the years wrong.
Oh,
he
yeah,
got the years wrong when he was talking about the...
Oh, yeah, the years, the Kings of Comedy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, this man really do got Cedric the Entertainer live from the Ville on Netflix. I just typed that motherfucker in.
Right there. And
that's crazy.
It's a great fucking special. I just watched it like last year. And then when I watched it, I was like, yo, Cedric is like, he legit. Like, low key, like, I feel like I was sleeping on him. But now all this shit is coming out of him still a joke. I'm like, I don't know, nigga. Goddamn. That first 15 minutes was raw, nigga.
That first 15 minutes. They should have ended that bitch right there.
Yeah, literally. That first 15 minutes, that nigga was getting at y'all boys, dog.
As soon as they said, "Man, you might need to put that drink down."
Dog, man. Bro, I appreciate you again for coming on, dog. It was dope to get that perspective.
Yeah,
like Quincy was saying, bro, I wasn't even thinking about it from that point of view. Because like you said, you get wrapped up in the just the entertainment side of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just enjoy it for that. But when you start picking it apart, it's like, oh wait, hold on. A lot of these things ain't how it sounded in the show. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's
that
pretty.
That nigga is a gypsy, bro. He told everybody what his deal is. This nigga been homeless since he was 13, traveling across the country, stealing and lying and manipulating. That nigga know how to like spin shit. That was my takeaway from it. I never looked at him like that. But when this nigga's basically like a carny. This nigga.
No, you got him there for like 3 hours. He's gonna reveal himself.
Yeah. Knives and balloons and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is how the nigga. He's a gypsy. So like the nigga just all he knows is like finesse and manipulating and like pimping and shit, like the game and shit. So it is what it is. Maybe he's just trying to run the finesse on the whole world, which I can't be mad at. If that's the MO, you know what I'm saying? Get off, bro. But I see what the fuck going on, nigga. Nigga said, come on, man. I smoke more weed than Snoop. All right, bro.
Nah, that run the 4-3 had me. That's enough.
Yeah, the 4-3 took me out. The 4-3 took me out.
Some of this shit ain't real.
Yeah.
I read the encyclopedia by the time I was 6 and failed the test on purpose. All right, bro. You're just this master manipulator. That's just so. There's always 3 steps ahead of everybody, but somehow Kevin Hart finessed you out of your spot. So what? Yeah, you telling me Dave Chappelle can get 6 Netflix, 7 Netflix, whatever the case, and you're also at the same time trying to spin his narrative like you can't be successful in Hollywood unless you sell your soul? Yeah. Why Dave Chappelle getting everything he want out of the game and you not? Dave Chappelle not doing no podcast. Dave Chappelle, he's so raw at this shit. Y'all seen the special where he was talking about how that older nigga stole his joke? The nigga tried to buy it off him and he didn't want to sell it or whatever, and the nigga did it anyway. And he's so crafty with it, he turned it into material to use on stage. Katt Williams just goes on podcasts and bitch about it. Like, instead of the entertainer stole your joke, that would have been fire to say that in a special. Dude on stage,
facts.
You really like that. And
Facts.
You're a great prolific writer, but you not. You know what I'm saying? You did too. Dog, did y'all watch the Snoop thing on Netflix? Snoop had a comedy show.
Yeah.
Nigga, Donnell Rawlings ate that nigga's lunch on there, bro. That nigga Katt was looking like an amateur on that bitch. That nigga Ashley Larry went on that shit and tore that shit up. I thought it was a bad audience. Yeah. Because Katt didn't do that well. So I'm just like, oh, maybe they just want some LA Hollywood shit.
Donnell might be the best comedian I ever seen live, bro.
Bro, that nigga, you want to talk about laughs per minute?
Oh, that's what we saw at when we went. Yeah, I remember Improv. Yeah. My bad, Jarri. Go ahead. My fault.
Nah, you good. I ain't had shit to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, honestly, bro, like after everything you said and just remembering the interview and everything, like it kind of seems like to me that he didn't figure out how to work the system the way that it was satisfactory to him, and he's just bitter that he wasn't able to maneuver the way he wanted to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Because, and honestly, bro, I can kind of even relate to that from the point of view of like, it took me a while, because like when you start doing music, you kind of see like what the main path is, and if you're not cool with it and you don't understand what other avenues you can take, you can have that mentality too. Like, bro, I'm not about to be here. Like the equivalent of the dress thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not about to be here throwing a dress so I can get my music off. You know what I mean? But it ain't always A or B. You know what I'm saying? There's other paths. And like you said, bro, you figure out your own path, you sit in it, you're happy about it, and you do your thing. Like what Dave Chappelle did, bro. He said, nah, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. And he's doing it in a non-bitter, you know, he's just living in his thing. He's super successful, and he's making it happen.
Bro, that's why, like, it's just weird, bro. Katt Williams makes so much money off of his tours. He's selling out arenas. It has to be personal. It has to be like you have some kind of like internal shit going on with you, bro. You're massively successful. You had, I don't know if he's, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people still do, but he has the respect of his peers, like comedically, like people, you know, view him as like one of the greats. You got 10 kids. You drive whatever car you want. Even though this nigga lied and said he has every car that Prince has, like, okay, bro. Him and Prince. This nigga said he known Prince since he was 12 years old. He moved to Florida when he was 13, though. So what? Prince was coming to Dayton, Ohio, and fucking hooping with you, nigga?
Sure. Or maybe it's that complex where he has that regret that he didn't do the things that people did to get where they are. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have no regrets if I'm up 50 million. I'm assuming he's up 50. You know what I'm saying?
Me neither. Me neither.
If you're doing 100 cities, all tours, I'll say 50 bands a show, he got to be making $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? And that's just off ticket sales. He doing merch and whatever outside little appearances he got. What do you got to be mad about, bro? For 19 years, you've been getting it like this? Come on.
Facts.
Yeah, man. It's like you do your own thing, you let people do their own thing, and if it's whatever's not for you, it's just not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't gotta bring down somebody else's empire to bring yours up. You know, everybody can live in that space. It's something me and Joe was talking about recently too, just about like gatekeeping shit, period. You know, like just information or different things. It's like, bro, what's the point? Because I can give you the game. It don't mean that you're gonna have the same drive and will that I got, and you're gonna make it happen the same way I am. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It don't make no difference to me. I still got my lane. You know. But yeah, man. Dog, again, appreciate you coming on. And before we get off, I wanted to say this and it might not translate to the podcast, dog, but it's so hilarious. I went out to a comedy show that you were hosting. It was like a comedy competition, dog. And two of the dudes that was like in like one of the like elimination rounds, it was two white comedians, right? And they come up to the stage to like go through the voting portion, right? And Jarri's like walking to the judges, and like it's like in between like the music break, it's like real nonchalant. Like he just brings the mic up real quick and he's like, all right, man, now it's time for the battle of the Squidbillies, y'all. Oh my gosh, bro. I was dying, bro. He just threw it in there real fast, like didn't even say it like it was a joke, just like, yo, battle of the Squidbillies. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Yo, that was so funny, bro. I couldn't believe that shit, man. And I'm looking around, like it was like 2 or 3 people laughing. I'm like, there's no way y'all ain't laughing, dog.
It's so funny, like fucking with comedians, like in environments like that, because the competition, it adds like an extra layer of nerves. So like when you fuck with them, they don't be like in the moment because they're so nervous. So like that's why I be fucking with them niggas to like try to remind them, like, look, be present. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax. You know,
that's funny.
But dog, it's that funniness, bro. Like I was saying about comedy in our group chat, and I'll kind of like wrap it up with this. Like comedy and like skateboarding are two things where it's like nobody can tell you you're good or not. You can either do it or you can't, and the results speak for themselves.
Right.
And like even in that little moment, bro, you hosting a comedy competition, you're shining just how funny you are. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the Katt Williams thing, it's like, bro, people funny or they not, regardless of what you say, regardless of what you want to spin the narrative as.
Yep.
If you got it, you can make it happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Before we let you go, Jarri, you want to let the people know where they can find you? Anything you got going on coming up?
Y'all can find me on social media. Jarri Knows is down there in the corner. You see it. Jarri Knows. That's on everything. And yeah, man. I just started a room. Well, I didn't start. I'm picking up a room. Another comedian started. He just moved out to Austin. He about to blow up. It's his name Jake Ricka. It's Barley and Vine. That's the name of the venue. It's in the Mill District in Orlando. Every Thursday it starts at 8. Every Saturday it starts at 10. Y'all pull up. And I'm producing Don't Tell Comedy here in Orlando now, so we're gonna have a lot of secret shows popping up all over different venues, a lot of cool spots. So if y'all are into that kind of thing, we got celebrity drop-ins on that all the time, like big name. I think Bill Burr just did the Don't Tell in Boston. Like anytime celebrities be in town, you never know who you want to see. So I mean, just tap in, follow me, and keep up with what's going on, man.
Facts, man. We definitely gonna be tapped in. I'm gonna be coming out to a lot more shows. I've been to a few recently, but definitely gonna be tapped in. It's I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with you, bro. You know, you're definitely doing your thing, and everything's just been lining up. Like Quincy said, you're not where you started in the grind, you're not where you finished, but you're in the grind and you're making it happen. Best of luck with everything that's coming up with this new year, 2024. You know what I'm saying? I know you've been just formulating your plan, bro, and it's dope to see it just coming to fruition. You know what I mean?
I appreciate y'all boys, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. And for everybody else, stay butter.
Stay it.